This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Artesian builds high-quality custom PCs made to order for a low price. Contact Artesian Builds today to get started on your own custom PC as low as $64 a month. All Artesian builds are made live on stream. You can watch your builds and talk to the builders live at twitch.tv/Artesian Builds. For more information about Artesian Builds, check the link in the description. Welcome to Racecraft TV here at Homestead, Miami for the Snead Competition Design Truck Series. It's the Florida Citrus 200 and you're here watching live on Racecraft TV. I'm Austin Knight. I am joined by Joshua Lee and we're getting ready to see some action. Currently here qualifying. Joshua, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great watching these athletes qualify out here on the track as they get ready to race tonight. Practice was interesting with Mullins and McKinnon in the top two, both in the 32.7s. And then a couple drivers back from there in the 32.8s, going all the way back to Dittmer, who was in the high 32.9s with a 32.987. But something interesting is Mark Truxell, who's on very dominant last week in Dover, has a 32.853 in practice, quite a ways down the order in ninth. So maybe we can see where he qualifies. I believe he just took the green flag for his qualifying lap as well. Currently on the top of the leaderboard for qualifying is Dustin Scruggs with a 32.860. Some surprises as we get started here tonight in Homestead.
We're right on board with Stephen Thomas. He's come around for his first time here at Homestead, down the front straight, comes across the line to jump up all the way to third, and I think Steven is going to be very pleased about that. We take a look into his car, and yeah, those eyes are not showing eyes of joy. He thinks he can find some more time out there, but he's sitting up there in third.
And there's that lap from Truxell. I was talking about 33.053. Not really that fast, but he's sitting in fourth. The track has really slowed down since the beginning of practice. Even though the sun is going down, track is getting a little cooler. I think that rubber is starting to build up, and the track is starting to slow down before we go green tonight.
Yeah, track is getting a little bit more gripped up, but it is slowing down. But Truxell, that was his first lap. He went all the way up to fourth. Coming across the line, are we going to see Truxell jump all the way to pole? No, he just jabs third.
32.983 improved by a little bit, but still not that much. As we see Derek Mullins fastest in practice, he goes up with a 32.939 into second. We'll see what that number 2 Ford F-150 can do on this lap as he comes down straight away.
8/10 down on Dustin Scruggs ahead of him. See, he's coming across turns 3 and 4 right now, and Homestead Miami is such a great course. Absolutely love night racing here. It's just very beautiful. Down across the line. Are we going to see Derek Mullins take pole? No, we are not.
33.068, the second lap from Derek Mullins. So he is going to sit in second with about 4 minutes remaining here in qualifying. Still a handful of drivers have not come across the start-finish line with their times as Justin Lumpkin hops up to the top, 32.8.
The 87 of Justin Lumpkin nabs pole position after a stellar last lap. It's going on to Brady LeBoeuf in third place. Heading out almost into the wall on the back straight here. And I can tell you, actually, I've seen it so many different ways. In the oval configuration and in the road course configuration. I must say, both times feels like you're getting shot out of the cannon.
Ooh, and you can see Brady LeBoeuf just moving that wheel coming off of turn 4. You can see it go looking right through the cab. And a 32.884 is the lap he's going to qualify with. 32.994 last time by. And it looks like he lost a little bit of time coming off turn 4. You can see his hands moving around in the cab.
Yeah, we're looking at Raul Meza coming out of 3 and 4. He's struggling with the car. Comes across the line. Raul Meza does not improve on his time. So we're seeing guys set their banker times and then making small mistakes.
I think that's just a product of the tire wear from that first lap, with everybody pushing as hard as they are. those tires do wear down pretty quickly, and after one lap, you already are noticing a slight difference in the overall speed of the car coming through the corners and down the straightaways. And I think we're seeing that effect really tonight as the track becomes a little bit colder, a little bit grippier, but also a little bit more abrasive for these tires through qualifying.
It is, and we got a fan favorite, Keith Bradley, up here on our screens right now. He's going through turns 1 and 2. His first lap put him into P6, so he definitely knows his way around here, looking for that lime green nosed up machine to be running up near the front all day. As Michael McKinnon jumps up into third place, Keith Bradley coming out of 3 and 4. He's looking much faster this time, comes across the line, but does not improve.
About 2/10 off his first time, 33.129. There's that 32.979 he put in for 7th place. It's a little bit under 2 minutes remaining here in qualifying. Only 4 cars have not put in a time so far, but there is such a spectrum of times right now. Fastest time, 32.800, and the slowest time right now on the board, 33.301. A big gap in between those lap times.
Yeah, the gap at front, 3/10 separate the entire field, I must say. Actually, separating the entire field is half a second from first all the way down to 22nd, but that gap from first to everybody else is it's a big jump.
And I think we're going to see that carry in through tonight's race. 134 laps on deck tonight. There's a long way to go. And with 35, 35, 64 being the stage gaps, I think it is going to be a race for strategy, especially tonight with the lights out, with the lights on, the sun dark. I think it is going to be a huge strategy fight, especially with these drivers being a little bit closer in times, but also that spectrum of times. We're going to see fast guys race up front and everybody else battle it back towards the midfield. But those fast guys are going to be in fights all night long, and with the little bit more grip on the racetrack, I don't think we're going to see as many wreck cautions or crash cautions as we normally would. We're going to see those stage cautions really come into play.
Yeah, I feel like Homestead is going to give us a very clean race, but it's going to be a very closely fought race, especially at the ending part of stage 3. It might get a little bit hairy, with 64 being a very odd stage 3 number to end on. But as qualifying has finished up right here, it's time to go to the grid here in Miami. And starting up on pole, Justin Lumpkin, that 87 ahead of Dustin Scruggs. Mike McKinnon right behind him with Bradley LeBouf in 4th. They're followed by Derek Mullins, Dane Hagan, Keith Bradley, Mark Truxell, Raul Meza, Steve Thomas, Chris Cinnamon, and Jesse Charge in 12th place. Behind them is Steve Williams, Ruben Phelps, Mikey Williams, Tyler Dittmer, Jason Higginbotham, Andrew Hurley, Chip Turner, Eric Zimmerman, Tyler Daniels, Tim D. Price, Casey Herring, Chris Baines in 24th place. And at the end of the grid is Brandon Bullock and Scott Osmat. And the last 4 cars actually have not set a qualifying time.
26 trucks ready to go racing through 13 rows before we go green flag here tonight in Homestead. And taking a look all the way back through this field, there's some interesting names, especially towards that midfield. Mark Truxell, Raul Meza, Stephen Thomas, Chris Cinnamon, some very fast guys. Starting a little bit further back, you can even go even further with the 56 of Jason Higginbotham. He had a run at the win last weekend, just couldn't get it there, along with Casey Herring, who didn't put in a qualifying time, starting all the way back in 23rd. He also had a great run at the win last week.
Yeah, I believe Casey Herring is just looking at the track and just deciding it's not probably a strong track for me, even though Homestead and Dover are kind of similar, just without the banking on the straights. And it's a half mile longer.
Homestead is just a little bit faster than Dover, but they are fairly similar in the way they race, as according to the racing, it is very close, very fast, and it's going to be very intense for 134 laps.
We have a lot of fans for Dane Hagan here tonight. We're right on board with him as he's waiting in pit lane. You can already see he's moving that wheel slightly, just getting itchy and ready to go. And I gotta say, I love that helmet he's rocking. And
Pace
as we
car
say
pulls
that,
off of pit road. There goes the cars.
we're getting ready to go. And the field is all lining up behind Dustin Scruggs and Justin Lumpkin. And speaking of Justin Lumpkin, he got a very late start. But it is about time that we go racing here in Miami.
Truck that is registered is on the track right now. So all the way back from Lumpkin to Osment, everybody is on the track and take the green flag. One thing I'm really finding interesting right now is all the ride heights of the truck. They're looking a little bit high is what we're normally used to seeing here in intermediates. Wonder what the main setup is for each of these guys. It is an open setup race. We might see some differentials in the setups, but it looks like a lot of common theming through the setups. Maybe it'll be common theming in strategy and tire wear as well.
It might be. I know these guys sometimes talk to each other about setups, but when word gets out that somebody's onto something, everyone follows it out. But it's green flag here in Miami. Let's go racing.
Good start for Scruggs on the outside. He's going to have a little bit of a jump going into turn number 1 over Justin Lumpkin. He gets that nose out there, but the inside line so dominant off the green flag. Here comes Justin Lumpkin on the inside.
It is here the cars roaring past us. Scruggs and Lumpkin still side by side. Scruggs got the runner on the outside with that banking. He used gravity to his advantage, get some speed off of turn 2, and he's going to take speed off turn 4, and Justin Scruggs going to lead off the first lap.
What a run on the outside line from Dustin Scruggs, and more joining him up there as the 9 car going to go right on by on the outside. That's Brady LaBouffe.
Brady LaBouffe in that 9. He's going to go side by side with Lumpkin, and he's got Derek Mullins on his tail.
Mullins, we know he's got a fast car, fastest in practice. We'll see what he can do as Lumpkin is going the wrong way on the inside, still falling back, not making anything happen on the inside. He's still falling.
Yeah, you got to get onto that high side. That low line is very hurtful here, especially early on in the race. But later on in the race, it might be helping him out as you see Justin going up to the mid side. But all these guys on the high line are tearing up these tires.
Still leading that outside. He's going to move a little bit further down to the inside. Not exactly going right on that white line, but about a groove up on it as he makes his way off of turn 4. Keeping that lead a solid about 4 truck lengths between the 11 and the 9 as they race through turn number 1 onto lap 4. No change up at the top of the leaderboard, though. Everything the same as Lumpkin goes for a pass on Bradley. He's going to get that 4th spot.
Keith Bradley and Justin Lumpkin side by side. Keith Bradley now looking down to the inside, forcing Lumpkin to go up high. And now Bradley sends it down low, but Lumpkin has to speed on to the outside. But you got to be careful. And look at that. That's Rob Meza, the 37, getting a lot of speed and getting into the wall. Oh. Keith Bradley's turned around. Meza hits him, and he hits Michael McKinnon. Mark Trussell gets into there as well. And it's a big hit. The 39 smacks the back end of Meza, and Meza, oh my goodness, it's a pile of cars after car after car is getting collected back there. The yellow flag came out. Let's take a look at Raul Meza from up high, and he just got turned around and everything all over. So many cars involved with there.
That looked to be a product of the 37 of Raul Meza on the outside, getting
and
a
Keith
little
Bradley
bit too close to the wall and overcorrected, going right down in the 92.
Oh, I don't know of a car that got through cleanly. Who was that at the end that just snapped on chip turn? Was that Steve Williams? No.
Everybody from back then, from the 37 on back, and pretty much got damaged in that crash. I think there you can maybe count the amount of cars that got through cleanly on one hand.
Oh, everybody was involved. Oh my goodness. And here's Tim D. Price swerving in and tapping Chip Turner. But I think only 5 cars got through that cleanly. I honestly think only 5 cars got through that cleanly. What a absolute clobberfest up at the front here. So many cars going to be using the fast repair, but you're here watching the Florida Citrus 200 here at Miami International Homestead Miami Speedway here on Racecraft TV. We'll be right back after these messages. This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Artesian builds high-quality custom PCs made to order for a low price. Contact Artesian Builds today to get started on your own custom PC as low as $64 a month. All Artesian builds are made live on stream. You can watch your builds and talk to the builders live at twitch.tv/Artesian Builds. For more information about Artesian Builds, check the link in the description. Welcome back to Racecraft TV here at Homestead Miami Speedway for the Florida Citrus 200. 13 cars were involved in that wreck. And wow, after early caution, it's Bradley LeBoeuf and Dustin Scruggs leading the field ahead of Derek Mullins, Justin Lumpkin, your top 4, followed by Chris Cinnamon and Stephen Thomas. And then behind them, the entire field is just jabbered up right now. But as the pace truck pulls off, it's time to go back green here at Homestead Miami Speedway.
Well, that 9 car of Brady LeBoeuf on the outside got a little bit loose with that wheel spin. 19 on the scoring, 9 on that side of that car. As he goes into turn number 1, he'll stay in second. Not going to fall back as far as live positions go. He spun those tires on the start. You're going to watch it. Not taking tires just yet as we're not even halfway done with the stage.
And we already got laps cars. That's Michael McKinnon up ahead of him. And I believe that there's somebody else who just let them by. But yeah, Michael McKinnon leading out the field, but he's actually a laps car.
Scruggs, the official leader in the 11, using the outside. Running about 2 grooves up from the inside, dipping down about 1 groove up as they go through turn number 2 and onto the back straightaway. McKinnon gets surrender, but Scruggs in the wall.
Scruggs trying to get as much run as he can around to the outside, but just taps the wall. That's going to be hurting him a little bit on the front straight as Derek Mullins and Bradley LeBoeuf still side by side. Justin Lumpkin watching these two racing along.
That could be a product of the dirty air coming off of McKinnon in the 13, getting Scruggs a little tight and into the wall, but he was able to keep it. Not a lot of damage to the side of that race truck, and he is still going. As McKinnon on fresh tires isn't dropping that far back into Scruggs.
Yeah, Scruggs is not dropping pace a lot because the battle, we can't really compare it because the battle behind him is still side by side, corner after corner, lap after lap. And Scruggs just staying comfortably ahead of him.
14 trucks came down pit road for damaged tires, fuel, or a combination of those 3 on that last caution. So 14 cars out of the 26. So that means we only have 12 currently on the racetrack who have not come down pit road. 8 of those are currently in the top 8. Another one in 10th and a couple down in 15th and 16th. Sorry, 16th and 17th as they battle it out back there. But up front, it's still Dustin Scruggs, who has not come down pit road. And there goes McKinnon pulling away now from Dustin Scruggs as he tries to get away and keep his lap.
Yeah, we were looking at Bradley LaBouffe. He's got a good run. He jumps up into 4th place. And I think Brady is starting to get back into form.
No victim to Justin Lumpkin as the 87 goes into 3rd. Now has the 3 car behind him of Chris Cinnamon. We know he's fast. Can he get by? But there's the 23 of Jason Higginbotham. He started way down in the order in 17th. He in that 56 is now up to, that 23, and that 56 is up to 7th currently. What a run from that GoPro machine.
Yeah, he took it very easy through there. And he didn't really get involved with that wreck ahead of him. And Stephen Thomas also up there. He had a good navigation through that wreck as well. So you see Chris Cinnamon already taken to that high line. There's nobody on his inside, but that high line giving you a lot of speed. And it's allowing him to stay ahead of Stephen Thomas. I know in the Indy cars, the drivers love taking the high line because of the amount of downforce they have. But in the trucks, it's a bit different.
The high line is working for a couple laps, but it seems like as the run goes on, that inside really becomes the dominant line as Scruggs closes the door on Mullins in 3.
Yeah, Mullins just trying to sneak his nose down in there, but Scruggs just put on the block, and now here comes Mullins and Scruggs. Side by side they go. Mullins down onto the inside into turn 1.
He's got the dominant line, no damage to the 2. Right on by he goes. New leader, the 2 of Derek Mullins.
Now Mullins has to deal with attacking Dustin Scruggs. Scruggs just riding all that draft now. Now Mullins has to deal with that dirty air from McKinnon. But Mullins has already been in the dirty air of Scruggs this entire race. And look who's behind him. Now,
Lumpkin in 3rd. It looks like Lumpkin might be a tad faster than the 11 of Scruggs. So Lumpkin now going to sit behind and look for that lead.
Remember, Scruggs does have that damage.
Wonder if that is affecting that speed of that race truck, but it doesn't look like it's affecting it much. He's not dropping it that far down the order.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that damage is really affecting him at all. But Justin Lumpkin, our pole sitter, not the best start in the race, but he's certainly keeping his pace with the top 3.
These top 3 are so close together right now. Only about 4/10 the difference between these 3. And you can look further back, about 3/10 back to Brady LaBouffe in 4th. And then there's Chris Cinnamon. You can see him back there in the 3. But this battle between the 11 and 87 is heating up. Seems like they're all comfortable with running single file right now, but Justin Lumpkin looks to be faster than that 11. Wondering if he's going to try and make a move, but before the end of this stage, we're going on to lap 19. Stage ends on lap 35.
Yeah, 35 first and second lap stage, followed by a 64 lap ending. And behind these two, you see Chris Cinnamon trying out that outside line, trying to get any advantage on Bradley LaBouffe right behind him.
I'm surprised Mullins with that clean air is not pulling away that much.
It's not clean air. He's got McKinnon ahead of him.
Oh, that is correct.
Yeah, the lap car McKinnon making this very difficult for Derek Mullins. And he's probably cursing in his helmet right now at it. But he is pulling a little bit of a gap to Scruggs.
That gap is widening between him and Scruggs, and the gap between him and Lumpkin is shortening. As Lumpkin only about a car length off of the 11. Looking further back, still no changes to the grand order of things right now. As Stephen Thomas still sitting in the same spot along with Higginbotham in 6th. Or sorry, in 7th in the 56. Chris Baines sitting in 8th, Dan Hagan in 9th, and Mark Truxell in 10th. Not a lot of changes to the opening order, not a lot of battles going on. And right as I say that, there it is, the 23 is Stephen Thomas, right on by Chris Cinnamon for 5th.
And Steven Thomas caught Cinnamon napping right there. Yeah, down the front straight. Thomas, are we going to see another move from him very soon? And looking up ahead, the 80s. Oh, here comes Thomas, but also Justin Lumpkin looking on Scruggs.
Did not get the move done as they come back off of turn 2. Anybody get a run? There goes Steven Thomas right on by the 19. 9 on that truck of Brady LaBouffe. Now the 23 in 4th. Gonna try and run down the 3 leaders as the 3 of Chris Cinnamon also wants to spot away from Brady.
Yeah, but Brady's gonna have that top. He's gonna have that top line now. They're going to go side by side heading into turn 1, but it's an easy dive down for Cinnamon. And now Jason Higginbotham is looking for that inside line as well, and he's going to get that too. That top line has lost all of its speed.
Over the course of this green flag run, especially with all these cars up front being on 23-lap-old tires now. With a couple of caution laps, they're on about 19-lap-old tires in total. And they still have a considerable amount of time left to go until the stage break. 12 laps to go until the stage.
We're looking at the battle for seconds between Scruggs and Lumpkin. Lumpkin's getting closer and closer to the 11 of Scruggs as McKinnon has flown away from Mullins, and that's allowed Mullins to start pulling the gap. Lumpkin looking down to the inside. But he's got to be a bit more urgent because behind him, the charging 23 of Steven Thomas is closing the gap.
Oh, and Thomas is right there. He has conserved his tires, waited for this moment. Lumpkin goes high on the inside. That's Steven Thomas even and clears him for 3rd.
What a move by Steven Thomas, but I don't think he's done yet. Thomas jumps up into 2nd place. But he's running on the back of Dustin Scruggs, and he has all the pace in the world, I believe, to make this next move happen to jump up into 2nd place. But this first stage for Steven Thomas has been absolutely on fire.
Can he get past Dustin Scruggs now? Only one person all night has been able to get past Scruggs, and that is Derek Mullins.
He's almost a second in the lead right now.
Mullins definitely pulling away now. As he said, that gap 1 second between him and the 11. But the 11 falling under fire from Steven Thomas. Not able to get close enough yet.
Thomas is just biding his time, waiting for that move, trying to get a good exit. And I think he's found it. He's already side by side with Scruggs. Scruggs' top speed is being hit, but Thomas got a very late turn in as there's a lap car down to the inside, and I thought that we were about to see Justin Lumpkin try to make a jump, but that lap car is very dangerous, and now they're going to go 3 wide off the exit. Scruggs, Thomas, Lumpkin, side by side. Thomas down to the inside of Scruggs. Scruggs trying to squeeze Thomas down low into that lower banking. And he's going to go up high, has a little bit of wiggle onto the exit, and Steven Thomas jumps up into 2nd place.
And he clears him, coming down the front straightaway into turn number 1. What a move for Steven Thomas in the 23 as he goes into 2nd place, now looking to chase down Derek Mullins.
Yeah, he's got to chase down the leader now. And right behind him, they're going to go 3 wide down the back stretch.
Mullins doing a great job leading this race right now. 1.8 seconds, the gap between the 2 and the 23. And Steven Thomas just now crosses the start-finish line. He's got a little bit of cleaner air rather than clean air. He still has that 2 up ahead of him up the road, but we'll see if Steven Thomas can use this open track to his advantage and try and catch the 2 of Derek Mullins, but the gap widening even more. 2 seconds now.
2.1 seconds. This first sit for Derek Mullins is absolutely nutty. And he has to thank the intense battling going on behind him for that.
Mullins got past the lap car, the 17 of Brandon Bullock, who is currently scored in 19th.
Higginbotham looking down to the inside of Cinnamon. He's got him. Now he's looking on to the inside of Scruggs. He's looking for the double move. And he's actually getting bump drafted by Cinnamon. And he got him now. And now Higginbotham up 14 spots into third.
Higginbotham just got the best 2-for-1 deal you can get out on the racetrack. And they're still 3 wide.
Oh my goodness. Cinnamon in the middle of there. And these guys so tightly packed with each other. They fan out mid-corner, but Cinnamon looking down low. Scruggs got to watch his quarter panel because there is Cinnamon.
I can't believe they were 3 wide going down the straightaway as we have 5 to go here in the stage.
They all had better mid-corner speed than Scruggs and better exits, but now Cinnamon bobbles it mid-corner, and that lets LeBeouf by. And LeBeouf now is going to challenge Scruggs.
Cinnamon to the inside of Justin Lumpkin. As there goes LeBeouf right on by Dustin Scruggs in the 11. LeBeouf now up into 4th.
Brady LeBeouf, very, very up and down first stage today. As we were looking at the battle for a second between Higginbotham and Thomas. 2 laps left here in stage 1.
These stage points are going to be incredibly important for all of these drivers up front right now. The cutoff for stage points is going to be at Mark Truxell in 10th. In the 5, winner of Dover. Our dominant car at Dover. I believe he came home with the win there. Now 2 to go here in stage 1.
2 left. Stephen Thomas feeling the pressure of Jason Higginbotham right behind him. And look at Brady LeBeouf. He's looking down low and and here goes Higginbotham. Higginbotham found his move and he's found his opening. Here he goes. Higginbotham. Thomas. Side by side. Thomas slow on entry and sneaking by is Brady LeBeouf. But now Thomas has a speed off the exit.
On the inside, that 9 car trying his best. He's going to get past Thomas. He clears him going into 1.
He absolutely sent that into turn 1. And now Thomas all the way onto the bottom of the track, heading out into the back straight they go. And into 3 and 4. Higginbotham, LeBeouf, and Thomas, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Nose tail with each other. Higginbotham goes high. LeBeouf going to challenge Higginbotham side by side across the line. No, it doesn't. Higginbotham takes 2nd across the line, followed by LeBeouf as we look at our stage 1 winner of Derek Mullins.
Good win for Mullins, getting by the 11 of Dustin Scruggs and then running away with that stage win.
Yeah, Derek Mullins takes the win of stage 1, followed by Bradley LeBeouf, Jason Higginbotham, Stephen Thomas, Dustin Scruggs, Chris Cinnamon, Justin Lumpkin, Chris Baines, Dane Hagan, and Mark Truxell. Your top 10 and points finishers here in stage 1. You're here watching Racecraft TV. We'll be right back after these messages.
At McConey Setup Shop, we offer custom-built setups for any asphalt oval car. Prices starting at just $5. Weekly setups available for all Legends, late models, modifieds, and NASCAR trucks, Xfinity, and Cup cars. Do you need one-on-one driver coaching? We've got you covered. Visit www.McConeySetupShop.com and find yourself in Victory Lane. McConey Setup Shop, handling all your setup needs so you don't have to.
This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Artesian builds high-quality custom PCs made to order for a low price. Contact Artesian Builds today to get started on your own custom PC as low as $64 a month. All Artesian Builds are made live on stream. You can watch your builds and talk to the builders live at twitch.tv/Artesian Builds. For more information about Artesian Builds, check the link in the description. Welcome back to Racecraft TV here at Homestead Miami Speedway for the Snead Competition Design Truck Series Florida Citrus 200. After stage 1, it was Derek Mullins taking the victory here, and let's take a little look in on Derek Mullins right now, and he is feeling absolutely joyed about that stage 1 win. Josh, how was that stage for you?
It was a good stage. I think it was very interesting to see how many battles we saw towards the late end of that stage, because at the beginning of the stage we saw a lot of different drivers up at the front, but it seemed like towards the end of that stage, the drivers that conserved their tires at the beginning of the run and didn't run that high line so quickly were able to really make moves and race towards the end of that stage. I think it was also interesting to see all the drivers that waited until the stage end to pit, which means I'm expecting to see 2 more pit stops from each of these drivers, one at the end of this stage, stage 2, and one about midway through stage 3, depending on if and when we do get a caution in that stage. So the strategy is starting to heat up, the racing is starting to heat up, even though the temperatures are dropping as we reach around 10:45 p.m. sim time.
Yeah, it's getting absolutely late here. Track temperature is at 81 degrees Fahrenheit. And the air temperature is 80 degrees, and it's 13 mile per hour winds.
That definitely sounds like South Florida.
All we're missing is a few gator appearances and then a spontaneous rainstorm that only lasts 5 seconds.
Then it would definitely be South Florida.
Well, South Florida or not, we're going back to green flag racing here to start stage number 2 here at Homestead.
Even off the start between Higginbotham and Mullins, I was expecting Mullins to really pull away. There he goes with that clean air, but LaBeouf now in second place. He gets past Higginbotham, and so does Cinnamon.
Higginbotham had a terrible start.
Was a product of that outside line. It's not getting going very well. Here comes the 23 and Stephen Thomas as well to the inside.
Meza, Lumpkin, Thomas. They're going 3 wide behind him. Bradley stuck in the middle as the 54 of Chris Bays trying to get around him. You see him swerving around, but he's stuck out there. Tyler Dittmer in that number 4 car trying to make 2 and 1. Higginbotham's dropping like a stone.
Meza's now up to 4th. What a run for that 37 as he makes his way right up through the field. He's in 5th now behind Lumpkin, Cinnamon, LaBeouf, and all the way up in front is Derek Mullins trying to pull away with that clean air. But look at Brady LaBeouf still right behind him in 2nd.
Yeah, Brady not giving up at all. He's got Cinnamon on his tail and pretty much everybody on his tail. But this is really showing our front runners for stage number 2 right now. Our top 5, Mullins, LaBeouf, Cinnamon, Lumpkin, Meza, and Meza. He's already looking down to the inside. He wants a move on our pole sitter. Justin Lumpkin forced to go high. Meza looking down low. And oh, they're going side to side. And Mullins had a very bad exit. LaBeouf is in the lead. Meza's going to go 3 wide as the number 2 of Mullins falling down the track. And now the battle for the lead between LaBeouf and Cinnamon. Heading absolutely going crazy here in turn number 1.
Derek Mullins got one bad exit, and right down to 5th he went as the new battle for the lead is between LaBeouf and Cinnamon. Cinnamon has it on the inside in 3.
But watch for LaBeouf on that exit, and don't count out Justin Lumpkin. He might have something to say with it. Lumpkin looking down low on LaBeouf.
Not able to get the move done. Cinnamon takes the lead, and now Lumpkin on the inside takes over 2nd place. LaBeouf down to 3rd as Meza and Mullins battle for 4th. Mullins trying to rebound.
Great racing up front. This is allowing everybody else to catch up to them. But now Lumpkin and Cinnamon going side by side. Your pole sitter is back in the lead here in Homestead.
What a run for that 87 of Justin Lumpkin to grab the lead, but here goes Cinnamon in the 3, back to the inside with the crossover.
What a crossover, very dangerous, almost collected Lumpkin right there if he stayed in the middle. And speaking of the middle, look at LaBeouf, he's sitting in the middle, but here goes Meza. They're going to go 3 wide on the backstretch.
Oh, and here comes Meza trying to take that spot as well. Cinnamon in the lead, now LaBeouf takes over 2nd, Meza on the inside, but Lumpkin with a good run on the outside, gonna keep 3rd place away from the 37, but not for long as Raul Meza run on the back bumper.
Lumpkin cannot clear the 37, and Lumpkin has to check up, almost gets caught up into the bumper of Mullins. And Meza onto that inside line now on Lumpkin. Side by side they go onto the backstretch.
Meza still fighting on that inside, not letting him go.
Lumpkin needs to put the bit between his teeth, and he does, puts the block on Meza.
Now Lumpkin gonna keep 3rd place. Mullins right behind Meza, goes for the spot. Meza looked to block, not gonna get there in time.
Mullins now looking more racy after that start. He wants to go back and try to go for that lead once more, but Lumpkin blocks him.
Mullins on the inside of Meza, looking for any position he can to rebound after he got a 1 bad exit, dropped all the way back to 5th, and that's where he still is, trying to get by the 37 as Chris Baines, up 18 spots from where he first started, is now sitting in 6th, looking to edge his way into the top 5.
Yeah, the Atlantic driver sees his opportunity mid-corner, drops down low, following Mullins, who's side by side with Meza, and he's getting right onto the bumper of Mullins as Mullins looking down to the inside, sending it into the corner. Meza not even leaving the train that's in that middle line, which is the fast line around here. And here comes Lumpkin. He went down low. I'm not sure if that was getting loose or looking for a move, but look at Mullins. He's still looking down low. He sends it on Lumpkin after sending it on Meza. And Baines gets onto the quarter panel of Meza now. And Mullins and Lumpkin going side by side.
Mullins on the inside, a slight blink, not going to affect him as Lumpkin tries to keep that 87 on the outside and tries to hold that position, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to. Mullins back up to 3rd, not for long.
Mullins just has it by a nose. They're extremely close right now. And they're sending it down to the inside. Mullins up into 3rd, dancing on the bumper of the 9.
Trying to get by Brady LaBeouf. He gets to that inside. Now he's looking at Chris Cinnamon up in front. The two of Derek Mullins wants the lead back, and he wants it now.
LeBouf and Mullins side by side, and they're side by side behind them with Meza and Lumpkin side by side, almost having contact with each other off the exit.
Still trying to make that inside work is the two of Derek Mullins. Only about 2 truck lengths up the road is Chris Cinnamon. He really needs to watch out for this too.
Chris
because
Baines!
with only 9 laps to go on the stage, Meza's 3 wide.
Baines sent it down low off the exit. Baines still down low, but he checked up a lot mid-corner. That's allowing Meza back ahead of him. And now him and Baines and Lumpkin side by side. Lumpkin looking down low, almost gets it to the side of Baines.
Baines peeks into the top 5 for a second there. He needs to get past Justin Lumpkin if he wants a top 5 in this stage. And he's looking for that spot. He's going to get it coming through turn 2. He's going to barely clear him coming out of the back straightaway.
Speaking of barely clearing it, Chris Cinnamon is just barely clear of Derek Mullins as Meza and LeBouf going side by side. Meza sends it hard into 3 and 4. Has to check up a lot mid-corner, and now LeBouf swinging around to the outside. Meza fell down a lot of pace, and look at that. That's the 23, Stephen Thomas. And Meza and Baines going side by side. Absolutely hard battling behind them, but Baines with that risky dive onto the inside that hurt his speed, going on into the corner that hurt down Meza's speed, as well as Thomas and Lumpkin looking for a lot of moves right now.
They were so close to spinning out coming down the front straightaway. Both of them save it as Baines looking to the inside of Raul Meza for 4th. Meza with a great run on the outside.
Baines' car is just, it looks quick at some points, but it's very unstable at some other points. He needs to find where his car is working to make up spots right now, but currently he's just holding everybody up.
This battle back here in the midfield towards the back of the top 10 really starting to heat up, but that battle for the lead is also looking fairly good as Cinnamon and Mullins very close together with Brady LeBouf sitting in 3rd, watching this all happen. And with 5 laps to go now here in stage 2, I'm expecting a move from Mullins. It just depends on when.
Mullins hunting for that move. He's definitely just studying Cinnamon right now. He looked at a few moves already and just decided that it wasn't the case. He just needs to save his tires and follow as close as he can of that Chevy in front of him.
4 laps to go in the stage now this time by. Tires are worn. Drivers are worn out. They want a break, and it's going to come here in a couple of laps. As Cinnamon still leads the way, Mullins 2nd, LeBouf 3rd, Raul Meza 4th, and Lumpkin sitting in 5th. And Mullins made up the gap. He's looking at the inside for the lead, right on that back bumper.
Mullins and Cinnamon so close to each other. Mullins touched Cinnamon. Cinnamon went spinning, but Cinnamon saved it for the lead. But Cinnamon's still getting loose. LeBouf snuck it through.
LeBouf, Mullins, contact. They're side by side. Meza up the middle, tried to make it 3 wide, did not do it as Meza sits in 3rd with LeBouf and Mullins side by side for the lead. Here comes Brady LeBouf on the inside, getting the lead back with 3 to go in stage 2.
Watch out for Meza off the exit. Meza's down low. Mullins into the wall. Thomas jumps up into 3rd place.
What an intense battle for the lead here in stage 2. 2 laps to go this time by as Meza sits in 2nd with Stephen Thomas in the 23 now in the picture.
Thomas looking down low as Mullins, after hitting the wall and almost spinning out Cinnamon, might need to calm down just a little bit as Thomas looking down to the inside of Meza. Thomas and Meza still side by side, but he's got a push by Mullins mid-corner, and Mullins jumps up into 3rd place now. He's going to have speed off the mid-corner. Now the mid-corner is getting back into the pace now. That low corner is losing the grip.
These guys are racing like it's the end of the race, but it's only the end of stage 2. That just shows how important the stage points and the bragging rights of winning a stage is in this series as they come onto the back straightaway for the final time in stage 2.
Look at his back. It's Mullins in second. He got a good corner on Meza. Now Meza looking down low.
Coming through 3 and 4 and to the green checkered flag here in stage 2. No pressure for Brady LaBouffe. He's going to take the win in stage 2. Mullins second, Meza third, Stephen Thomas fourth, Jason Higginbotham is going to round out that top 5. What an insane battle for that stage win here in stage 2.
There are 35 laps in the stages. They're still racing.
Oh my. My math was completely off.
Yeah, you're 10 laps off, buddy. Mullins in the lead, followed by LaBouffe and Meza. That lap car almost causing a little bit of havoc, but it's acting like a little bit of a brake check to everybody's second back, as that's allowing Mullins to start pulling away.
Mullins grabbing that lead back is very important. We've seen how strong his truck is in the clean air. That's all he needs to pull away, and he's starting to do so.
Yeah, Thomas looking down low, pressuring Meza to go high, trying to force a mistake right there. Meza takes a wiggle. Thomas down low. Thomas jumps up, but Meza's still there. They wiggle on the straight. Higginbotham onto the inside of Meza.
Higginbotham wants that spot. Last week's winner from Dover. Looking for the fourth spot, getting very close to Raul Meza on the back straightaway. This is the battle for fourth.
And Higginbotham sent it into the corner, forcing Meza to go high. Meza's going higher. Meza's up into the wall, but he avoids it. Higginbotham jumps up into fourth place. And now Chris Baines on Meza. And Baines sends it in on a 37.
Seems like collectively everybody is moving their lines up towards the track, but it looks like the middle is better than the outside up by the wall right now. As there goes Meza with a block, Chris Baines.
There's Thomas on LaBouffe now. The battle for second is up. LaBouffe forced to go high. Thomas is right there. LaBouffe holds it down low. And now white flag is out for stage 2. Mullins, LaBouffe, Thomas, Higginbotham, your top 4. Thomas looking down to the inside of LaBouffe.
LaBouffe on the outside, Thomas on the inside. And look at Jason Higginbotham watching from about a car length back.
Oh, Higginbotham tried to send it in and almost got into the side of Thomas, but as they come down at turns 3 and 4, it's going to be Mullins taking a stage 2 win, followed by LaBouffe, Thomas, Higginbotham, Baines, Meza, Cinnamon, Lumpkin, and Scruggs with Dittmer in 10th place.
Austin, I think both of our maths might have been wrong. I think they still have 5 to go.
Gosh dang it.
Both of our maths are incorrect tonight, Austin. What are we doing?
My dyslexia read 70.
And this is why we are on the mic and not in the pit box.
Or math professionals.
So they do have 4 to go now here in the stage, with Derek Mullins still leading, and everything has calmed down. But right as I say that, LaBouffe,
oh, look, he's in the wall.
He touches it.
There's more to touch it, and he smacked it.
He's going to lose a lot of positions now. He's already falling back to 8th. He's going to fall victim to Scruggs. Will he fall victim to Tyler Dittmer as well? Yes, he will. Scruggs to the inside. And there goes LaBouffe now down into 9th.
And LaBouffe, he definitely is losing a lot of pace down the straight. You can see the damage that he has on that nose. That little damage he has on the front right is hurting him a lot. But if you look at the packing of the group of the cars ahead of him, it will still allow him to stay with them if they keep battling. But everybody's taking that higher line now as it's rubbered in.
Track's starting to rubber in. And they're going to come across the line. 2 to go in the stage. I believe that is the official end of the stage, is lap 70. And Mullins still leading, but Stephen Thomas has a good chance to get this stage win if he gets up close.
Yeah. Third time's the charm in us trying to figure out what 35 plus 35 is. It is 70. 2 laps left.
Stephen Thomas is getting very close. Only about a truck length back as they go into 3. Can he get that move done? He's going to need to make it soon.
Thomas and Mullins closing in on each other. White flag is in the air, and Mullins is being caught up by Thomas. He had a great run, and here we go.
Thomas looking about a half truck length up the road, but that's going to send him further back. That outside groove is just not working for him. Down the back straightaway for the last time in stage 2.
Thomas using everything that he can going into that corner, but he has to check up because I think it's going to be just a little bit too much, and it will be a little bit too much. Derek Mullins takes stage 2.
Mullins, Thomas, Higginbotham, Baines, Cinnamon, the top 5 here in stage 2.
Yeah, your top 10 finishing is Mullins, Thomas, Higginbotham, Baines, Cinnamon, Meza, Lumpkin, Dittmer, Scruggs, and LeBouf. He does get a stage point after that very massive hit into the wall. But stage 2 comes to an end here at Homestead, Miami. You're here watching Racecraft TV. And we'll be right back after these messages. This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Artesian builds high-quality custom PCs made to order for a low price. Contact Artesian Builds today to get started on your own custom PC as low as $64 a month. All Artesian builds are made live on stream. You can watch your builds and talk to the builders live at twitch.tv/Artesian Builds. For more information about Artesian Builds, check the link in the description.
At McConey Setup Shop, we offer custom-built setups for any asphalt oval car. Prices starting at just $5. Weekly setups available for all Legends, late models, modifieds, and NASCAR trucks, Xfinity, and Cup cars. Do you need one-on-one driver coaching? We've got you covered. Visit www.McConeySetupShop.com and find yourself in Victory Lane. McConey Setup Shop, handling all your setup needs so you don't have to.
Welcome back to Racecraft TV here in Homestead, Miami. We are looking at our stage 2 winner, Derek Mullins. He stays at first after the race off pit road, ahead of Higginbotham now in second place with Stephen Thomas, followed by Baines, Cinnamon, Meza, Lumpkin, Dittmer, LeBouf, and Truxell, your top 10, as these guys are finishing up their caution laps behind the iRacing pace truck.
Really looking forward to this last stage because everybody's come down pit road. They got their fresh tires. They're up to 2 stops. They need to make probably one more stop, especially for those tires with the tire wear, because the lap times really fall off. I mean, just looking at that last stage lap times, Mullins started at a 34.711. About his fastest time in the stage was a 33.014, and he ended in a 34.766. So just the gap of lap times between the beginning of the stage and the end of the stage, and that was only about 30 laps. So they're going to need to come down pit road, or else these tires are going to become undrivable at around 45 to 50 laps. It just all depends when they're going to come down pit road in this last stage.
Yeah, as the lights on the pace car go out, they're forming up right now. And it's just one stage left. And to challenge both of us, instead of it being a 5 or 0, it's going to be a 4.
But they're racing to the end of the lap count, and that's all I need to know.
Unless the green-white checker comes out. Then we're all
then
confused.
We're going to be even more confused.
But yeah, you are right. 64 laps in stage 3. Anything can happen with tires because they wear out so fast right here. I believe we're going to see somebody try to go 40 laps and then just pull a massive gap to everybody else.
2 by 2 as they get ready to go back to racing. Watch out for Jason Higginbotham in the 56. Very fast, as we saw last week at Dover. I'm going to nickname him the closer right now because we didn't see much of him at Dover, and then he came out and won the race. I think we are going to see Jason Higginbotham get the win here in stage 3, but he's going to need to battle out Derek Mullins and everybody else behind him as the pace truck goes into pit road.
Pace truck pulls in. Can Derek Mullins get a grand slam here today? He won stage 1. He won stage 2. Can he get stage 3 with a great start? He takes the lead.
Mullins already opening up that gap to a couple truck lengths as they go through 1 and 2. But Higginbotham keeping the inside line. That's what he needs to do. We've seen that outside line be very slow to start out the run.
Yeah, and here comes Baines already looking onto the inside of Higginbotham. He dives in there. Thomas and Mez almost getting into each other. And Higginbotham is around. The closer is around, and it's a big pile up behind him.
LaBouffe got touched. Cinnamon.
Lumpkin is touched. Higginbotham got T-boned. Cars are smoking in there. Around was Brandon Bullock.
Now the question is, how many of these trucks have
Oh,
fast
LaBouffe
repairs
got
left?
absolutely smacked right there. The 9 of Casey Herring, his engine is blown. He was involved in the race earlier. The 39 of Dana Hagen, he stopped just in time.
Who has a fast repair left in their pit road?
Hagen escaped that so luckily. Got onto the brakes just in time to avoid any contact right there as Higginbotham is crabbing and he finally gets down into pit road. But we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars in the pit road right now. And it looks like some of these guys are going to be staying in there for a while because some of those guys are in that wreck were involved in that lap 1 wreck.
And this is going to really screw up a lot of strategies as they are now pacing under the pace car. Tires not really wearing, not really burning much fuel. This is going to push that pit road time during this last stage further and further back. If we keep getting cautions, we might not have any pit stops here in stage 3. Everybody might try and run these tires to the end.
We're going to have some mad lads try to take tires on some crazy lap. As, speaking of people taking tires, Phelps, Bullock, Sarge, Hagen Higginbotham again. These guys are still taking tires and just trying to fix all this damage. So we are still under caution here at Homestead Miami Speedway. You're here watching the Snead Competition Design Truck Series here on Racecraft TV. You're watching the Florida Citrus 200. We'll be right back after a very short message. This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Artesian builds high-quality custom PCs made to order for a low price. Contact Artesian Builds today to get started on your own custom PC as low as $64 a month. All Artesian builds are made live on stream. You can watch your builds and talk to the builders live at twitch.tv/Artesian Builds. For more information about Artesian Builds, check the link in the description.
At McConey Setup Shop, we offer custom-built setups for any asphalt oval car. Prices starting at just $5. Weekly setups available for all Legends, late models, modifieds, and NASCAR trucks, Xfinity, and Cup cars. Do you need one-on-one driver coaching? We've got you covered. Visit www.McConeySetupShop.com and find yourself in Victory Lane. McConey Setup Shop, handling all your setup needs so you don't have to.
Welcome back to Racecraft TV. We're here live from Homestead Miami Speedway for the Snead Competition Design Truck Series. It's the Florida Citrus 200. Mullins, Baines, Meza, Thomas, Dittmer, your top five. After a early wreck, just 3/4 of a lap through the start of stage 3, and the field gets shuffled up once more after a massive incident. And this field is looking in pieces right now, as we only really have 20 cars still in this race.
I believe we have 19 cars currently on the track.
Yeah, I think it might be.
No, we have 20.
Yeah, I thought we had 20, but us being so consistent on math, we are not sure.
Could be very incorrect, but I believe we have 20. iRacing scoring is showing. No, iRacing scoring is showing 19.
All right,
is off track.
Well, we're going back green.
We're back green.
And Stephen Thomas on the restart. He actually got into the back of Derek Mullins, and Thomas has a lot of damage on that hood.
And Mullins now under fire from Chris Baines. As the 54 works his way on the outside, side by side down the back straightaway. The outside line starting to come alive.
I'm not sure where Stephen Thomas got that damage from, but it's obviously going to be affecting him a lot as he falls down the field. But Baines and Mullins battling out for the lead. They have Meza joining them as well. He's going to make it 3 wide in a very daring way. Way down onto the inside, sending it all the way almost into Miami, visiting Cuba Shop onto the inside. But it's Mullins and Baines still side by side. Now Meza looking onto the outside.
Meza went down to Key West for that move, but he made it work as he made his way back up the racetrack. Did not go 3 wide to 1, but Baines still trying to make it work on the outside. There goes Meza to help.
Meza just giving a little draft assistance to Mullins. And side by side they go. Baines leading out, Mullins down to the inside. Baines and Meza on the outside, going to try to take first and second, but third place is there. Mullins and Meza still side by side, but here goes Meza jumping up into second, and now jumping down low to try for first. And look at the number 92, the lime green mean machine, nosed up Keith Bradley is in third.
That 92 to the outside, making his way back up through the positions. As Chris Baines now battles with Raul Meza for the lead. Meza on the inside, Baines staying on the outside.
Still side by side, 3 wide technically, as Bradley almost gets turned by Mullins. And Bradley looking a little bit loose mid-corner, carrying a lot of speed on the outside of Mullins. We've seen Mullins accidentally turn somebody in that corner as well, as Meza and Baines still side by side for the lead. But here comes Bradley offering a little bit of assistance. Now that top line lasts about 5 to 6 or 7 laps. And look at that, Bradley from the outside dives all the way down to Key West. They're 3 wide on the back straight. Bradley, Meza, Baines for the lead, and it's going to be Bradley taking the lead.
Baines still on the outside, still side by side with the lead. Bradley can't clear him just yet. Meza still in the picture.
Oh, Bradley!
Bradley almost into him. Meza on the apron.
Bradley got a little bit of a jiggle from Meza, had a bad wiggle, and he stays safe, pointed forward, and now he's still fighting for second place. And I think Meza might be less aggressive from now on after that incident. Bradley onto the inside of Mullins. Baines is looking at his mirror thinking, what the heck is happening behind me, and can it please continue to happen?
Baines is up 23 spots from where he originally started tonight. He started back in 24th. I don't believe he put in a qualifying lap, and now he's leading this race. What a run by the 54. We have a caution on the racetrack.
Caution is out.
53, Scott Osmond, front straightaway.
Scott Osmond has blown an engine.
Oh, my.
Oh,
28 spun coming off of turn 4 from contact with the 17. The 53 goes right into him and spins down to the grass.
Tindy Price is having a lot of problems. Let's go take a look at what happened here for coming up to this incident. You can already see Tindy Price. He was one of the most slower cars. He has a lot of damage already as we're watching this replay. Still on the outside, still on the outside. Coming out of turn 2 and 3. Just letting the entire field pass. Now heading into 4. Actually, here's the incident. Oh, 53 and bam into the wall. And another caution is out here in Miami. And this time it wasn't cause of a guy up front. And early takers for the pit road. Baines stays out, but Mullins and the rest of the field go into the pit lane. Chris Baines is going to be a sitting duck out there.
I'm wondering if he'll try and come down pit road quickly before we go back to green, either this time by or a future lap, but I'm not sure if that's definitely gonna hurt him, but I'm not sure it's gonna hurt him that much in the long term if he pits, but it definitely will hurt him in the long term if he stays out.
So we're watching the race off pit road. Big wheel spin for Mullins, but he wins it off. Followed by Truxell beating out Bradley with Meza, Cinnamon, Thomas, Dittmer, Lumpkin, and Scruggs, your top 10 coming off of pit road. But Chris Baines all alone up there. And he is 18 laps older tires in the field behind him. His tires are starting to fall off. Around 15 laps, we saw the entire pace of the field just start slowing up. And here goes Baines. Are we going to see him go for a move? He's weaving back and forth. Trying to play a little bit of a game. But, nope, he is staying up there.
I'm not sure if that is a great move from the 54 of Chris Baines. It's going to help him in the short term because he'll keep the lead. He'll keep leading laps for at least a couple. But he's going to fall right back to order and be on a completely different pit strategy than everybody else. I'd say just bite the bullet, bring it down pit road, take 4 fresh Goodyears and some fuel, and get back out on the racetrack because then it'll help him in the long term. He's on the same tires as everybody else, same pit strategy, and we've already seen him drive up through the field once. I think he can do it again.
I feel like this might be helpful. If this stays green, Chris Baines might be on a good strategy if this stays green. Because he will be pitting before everybody else. He'll have the new tires before everybody else. and be able to start moving up through the field while everybody's on older tires. And then when they're on later in the race, Baines will already be in that cycle and already up to speed, and he might lap the entire field if it stays green.
This is going to be a very interesting race on the track and off the track in pit road in the remainder of stage 4 as they go into lap 91. 44 laps to go in this race, and I believe the lights are going to be out on the pace truck. Yes, they are. We're going back racing.
Yeah, Mullins, I believe these guys at 41 laps go will have tires and fuel to finish this race. Just barely. So a lot of fuel saving for the guys that went into the pits. Baines is going to have to sprint his head off and try to make up this deficit that he will have off the restart. But watch out for that fuel saving from Mullins. This is a very big question because these guys can make it. They don't have to go into the pits anymore. They're just barely going to be able to make it on pit road with just fuel. Lights are on the pace truck. Baines controlling the field. 18 lap older tires. We're getting ready to go back green here at Homestead Miami for the Snead Competition Design Truck Series. 41 laps left. Joshua, are you ready to go back racing?
Oh, I'm so ready. We have so many trucks behind the pace truck. There it goes into pit road. We are back racing here at Homestead.
Baines spun up the tires, and we saw Truxell have to smack onto the brakes after almost getting into the back of him. And now we're going to see where these tires are going to hurt Baines as he drifts up the track. He's in the middle, and he's going to get swooped down to the inside and on the outside by Mullins and Truxell. 3 wide down the back straight.
They didn't keep it through wide for long. Baines closes the door on Truxell. Mullins not able to get a good run on the outside that time. What's going to happen as they come up fourth, side by side for the race lead.
Mullins had a massive wiggle mid-corner. These guys are fanning all the way down, almost to the pit wall. Truxell down low. And still 3 wide. That's Bradley onto the outside. But Mullins around to the outside after Truxell had to check up right there. 3 wide still. Technically, they can go 4 wide right now. But Mullins retakes the lead. And Baines
falling like a rock. He's down in the 5th.
Yeah, best for Baines is to stay with just one line and have the entire field go around him right now. But it is a lot of battling behind him as Bradley and Mullins are battling it out.
Mullins taking the lead, still 2 car lengths ahead of the drivers behind him, as Bradley and Meza battling for second. As you can see, Mark Truxell now sitting in 4th, watching this battle happen ahead of him. We know he's got a fast race truck. He's looking for the lead. Oh, Meza right into Bradley.
Gave it a little push up the track. Truxell says thank you to Meza as he goes down to the inside. He's going to thank him in the most nice way possible by sending it up the inside.
Looking for second is Mark Truxell. Meza on the outside. We've seen that outside line take a couple laps to really work in every green flag run. And Truxell on the inside making it work, but Meza with a great run off the corner. He's going to take back second. Now making a run at Mullins. There's only about a half a truck length between the two.
Meza not even touching the bottom line at all, and he's got a lot of speed. Meza looking down low. Meza and Mullins side by side, and Meza, he's got the wheel hub up front of him, and he's got a car length in front of him. Half a car length now. Drags Mullins way up the track, and here comes Bradley challenging for the lead.
Meza working the outside line, now goes down to the inside with that run from Bradley. Keith Bradley in a second, he passes Mullins. Look at Truxell right up against the wall.
Truxell got very loose mid-corner right there, but Meza has 4 cars side by side behind him. They're going to start battling and allowing him to start pulling away.
Meza already with a great lead. A little over 3/10 as they're side by side behind it. There goes Chris Cinnamon in 5th. He's back in the picture.
Yeah, the Canadian getting back up the track after that earlier incident of getting turned by Mullins. And something tells me we might see him get into the back of Mullins. That's a little bit of payback.
They're still side by side. Mullins and Truxell. Truxell with a good run on the outside as the two of Derek Mullins tries to work the inside still, but Truxell running in a line we haven't seen really anybody use tonight. He's been running up by the wall, about 2 truck lengths off of the wall, a little bit higher than that middle groove. Very interesting place to be running, but it seems to be working for him as he gets by Mullins now in 3rd. He's going to use that line on Keith Bradley. It looks like he's going for it. He's right up with those left side tires on the seam.
Yeah, Truxell's using that line because he's saving the tires. We're seeing the tires get chewed up a lot going down to the inside because the banking down low is not as big as the banking up high. So Truxell has the disadvantage earlier on in the race, but 15 laps after this, Truxell will be the one with the best tires in the field.
And definitely what's also helping Truxell work that outside line right now is the amount of trucks that have run up there so far tonight, affecting the grip level up there. He doesn't have to lay down as much rubber, so he saves those tires. They're not wearing as quickly. As we work on lap 100, he goes back to the inside to try and get past Keith Bradley, and he wants a run at Raul Meza for the lead.
Yeah, but there's no grip down there anymore. Bradley's in the grip now, and Bradley has to speed off the exit, and Truxell cannot seem to get back there because Bradley's there, and he's going to try to find his way back up the track now as Bradley gets past him. Now he has to watch out for Mullins as that gap is closing down.
Meza trying to use that clean air. Oh my God, they're 3 wide for second. Mullins all the way down to the inside.
Bradley touched the wall.
Truxell.
Bradley just tapped the wall.
Second. He tapped the wall, but he's staying in second right now. Mullins now in 3rd. Cinnamon now battling Truxell for the 4th spot. Truxell has fallen from 2nd now down to 4th, and are all but a straightaway.
The driven to drive NOS driver trying to figure out where to go as Mullins is flipped the switch right now. He's dropped down low on Bradley. And he's making moves up through the field.
Now will Mullins go up and make a move on Raul Meza? He's a little further back as Bradley goes to the outside now of the 2 of Derek Mullins.
Still side by side, wheel to wheel they go. Bradley going way high, Mullins going way low. Watch out for that lap scar on the apron. Here comes Bradley, use that lap scar as an advantage. He sends it down low on Mullins. And he comes way up the track, forcing Bradley way up, and Mullins into the wall.
That number 2 Ford F-150 taps the wall. Oh, I think he has a little bit of damage on that right front too.
It was an aggressive send by Bradley, and that definitely gave Mullins some damage.
He didn't lose that much time. He's still sitting in the top 5, but here comes the 23 of Stephen Thomas as Mark Truxell goes to the inside for Keith Bradley on 2nd.
Truxell back into the fight for 2nd, but he's got Cinnamon right behind him. 2 by 2 they go. Cinnamon dancing on the bumper of Truxell, and Cinnamon now onto the inside of Mullins, and he's gonna, I think, put on a little nasty block for Mullins, but I think Mullins might give a little bit of payback to Bradley as he's right back on the bumper of him.
There are 2 by 2 in these last 2 rows, and Raul Meza is saying thank you, goodbye, as he tries to pull away, trying to get that gap to over a second. It's currently at a little over 9/10.
Right on board, Derek Mullins. He almost gets it to the side of Mark Trucks right there, and Bradley's in the wall.
Keith Bradley in the 92 taps the wall. Everybody's still good in this big battle right now. It looks like Daytona out there right now, Austin.
And we're just a few miles away, a few hours away from Daytona right now, but it still feels like we can hear that theme song playing in our head as Truxell, Cinnamon, Mullins, Thomas, Higginbotham, they're having this absolutely draft battle going on right now here in Homestead, Miami. But it's Rob Meza flying away right now.
Cinnamon holding his own on the inside. You can see the 23 and Stephen Thomas sitting with him. Here comes Derek Mullins trying to make it 3 wide.
Mullins has been up onto the front of this pack, into the back of this pack, back in the middle of the pack. He's been all over the place, but he's more used to sitting out the front at the end as we just cross into lap 108. Truxell's up high, Mullins down low, Thomas making his way up high behind Chris Cinnamon.
Derek Mullins still trying to make that inside line work, but it doesn't look like it's working for him right now. Truxell really working that outside line, and he's getting that momentum coming off of the corner, and you can see what I mean right there. He just powered by the 2 on the straightaway.
Yeah, Mullins has that damage that's hurting him on the straight, but he knows how to take these corners right, and he's going to put on the block on Truxell. That block only lasted a little bit as Truxell now down onto the inside. Side by side they go to 3 and 4.
And they have caught Raul Meza. Gap excruciatingly down to under 2/10. Chris Cinnamon in the 3 looking for the lead. He peeks down to the inside. And he is there.
Cinnamon and Meza side by side. Down the back straight. Still side by side. Cinnamon sending it down low. And hello, Stephen Thomas. He wants a piece of this. Meza gets a little bit loose. Cinnamon in the lead. 3 wide down the front straight. Thomas trying to sneak down low, but Cinnamon's blocking him hard. 24 laps left. Thomas trying to force his hand. Thomas looking low. Stephen Thomas in the lead.
Stephen Thomas, what a move on Chris Cinnamon, but Cinnamon back to the outside. He's running that Mark Truxell line right off over that seam on the outside by the wall. Looks like he did nothing but lose time though. Stephen Thomas pulling away in the 23.
Yep, Thomas enjoying this all too much right now. He's in the lead. He's got the clean air ahead of him. He just now has to run his own race. 23 laps left as there's a car in the pit lane. And that is not Chris Baines, who is still struggling on those tires. And what is happening with Raul Meza and the rest of the people behind? Well, they're going 3 wide. Lumpkin and Mullins way down low.
Lumpkin back up into this fight. He is your pole sitter from tonight. He's currently sitting in the top 5 in 5th. Mullins in 6th. The 56 of Jason Higginbotham in 4th with Raul Meza in 3rd. There goes Higginbotham right back to the inside. I called him the closer earlier. He got into a wreck but used that fast repair. He's back up battling for the lead. And Austin, I think the closer is going to be making a run at this lead. They're going to come across the line this time by 20 to go.
If he wrecks again, I'm banning you for giving people nicknames.
All right, I'll take that deal.
because that was the world's worst commentator's curse I've ever seen. And I've done some horrible ones.
I hope he stays on the track this time.
Well, he is certainly closing in on the leading two. But can he seal the deal with 20 laps to go?
He's definitely closing in. Everybody on the same worn tires for the most part. The top 11 currently on 26.8 lap old tires, coming across the line this time by 27 lap old tires. The only person not on that same set of tires is Chris Baines. He is on 43 lap old tires. And Eric Zimmerman in the 94, who just came down pit road, he is on less than a lap old tires, but he is a couple laps down.
Yeah, we are looking for Chris Baines to try to go into the pit road right now and absolutely seal the deal, because he still needs to go into the pit lane. And these guys, if they have to go into the pits, it's just going to be for a splash and dash.
Will they come down pit road? Will they go green to the end? A lot of questions still up in the air as we are in the final 20 laps of this stage. Now narrowing it down to 18 laps to go. And here comes Jason Higginbotham in the 56 on the back bumper of the 23. Stephen Thomas heading to 3.
Lumpkin, Cinnamon, and Mullins are just 3 wide through that entire back straight.
Back onto the front straightaway. Higginbotham resting about a half truck length behind the 23. Not making any moves yet. I believe these two are teammates. They're going to race each other a little bit different than you would normally race, but Higginbotham up the track, losing a bit of time.
Higginbotham had a little bit of wiggle mid-corner now. But stays in second, but now Cinnamon closing in on the 56.
There's a battle a little bit further back. It looks like Lumpkin and Mullins. As Chris Cinnamon sits in third. Lumpkin able to get by Derek Mullins to keep 4th place. Oh, Meza right up the track. He's in the wall.
Meza, big hit right there.
Oh, I don't even think he hit the wall. He was very close to it, though.
And Cinnamon just staying behind Higginbotham and Thomas. I think Higginbotham is fuel saving. He can certainly go for the pass for the win right now, but instead he's just saving the gas, saving those tires, and going to try to stay out for the win here.
Stephen Thomas still leading the way, and he's doing a great job at leading. He's using that clean air, but he's not pulling away too much. And Chris Cinnamon and Jason Higginbotham are still there with them reeled in. Lumpkin about 6/10 back from this top 3 battle.
Higginbotham is just planted on that bumper of Stephen Thomas.
Off of turn 3. The laps just continue to wind down, and we are at 14 to go. No changes up here at the front. I mean, it all is looking the same, and I think he is doing what you said, saving fuel by staying in the draft to Stephen Thomas. Higginbotham playing the long game with 13 to go.
Higginbotham just waiting back there, trying to find his right move. Gets a little bit loose, goes up high, comes back down low. But these two are pulling away from everybody as everyone's just spread out now into a line as all the battling has subsided once more.
About a half truck length separating these two. Higginbotham goes out all the way to the outside once again, cuts right back down. What's interesting to me about that, he's not losing any time doing that. Usually we'd see drivers go up the track, lose a bit of time, but he's keeping the 23 reeled in.
And Cinnamon's closing in now. Here comes Chris Cinnamon on the back of Jason Higginbotham. And now Lumpkin onto the back of Cinnamon.
Lumpkin, the pole sitter in the 87, making a move for third. Can he complete the pass, though, is the question. Tires are wearing. It's going to be more difficult to complete these passes, but the 87 with a great run on the inside. Staying side by side with the 3 of Chris Cinnamon.
Lumpkin getting back behind on Chris Cinnamon once more as they spread out once again.
Inside of 10 to go now. They crossed the line for 10 to go last time by, but 9 to go this time by. As Thomas Higginbotham and Cinnamon, your top 3.
We ride on board with Stephen Thomas, who must be scratching his head and looking at that fuel gauge a little bit worrisome, thinking, does he have that extra lap of fuel in there to get to the end? And will he have the fuel if it goes to a green-white checkered?
That is the big question. Will we see overtime tonight? And how is it going to affect the strategy of everybody on this racetrack? Because we already know everybody is running pretty thin to the end.
They last went into the pits on lap 88. And as we are on lap 127, these guys are so close to the edge right now.
39 lap old tires this time by, and they are trying to make them work to the end. As this battle for the lead starting to heat up. When will Higginbotham make his move? He still has Chris Cinnamon right behind in third.
Cinnamon looking down low. Cinnamon not winning at all. He's going to be aggressive. He's sending it down low on Higginbotham.
He's going to grab that spot. Slide job like you'd see at a dirt track. Coming on the back straightaway. Higginbotham now to the inside of Cinnamon. Lumpkin now joins this battle. Four-way battle for the lead.
7 laps remaining. Thomas still in the pretty seat as these guys are just still racing out with each other. Cinnamon all up in the bumper of Thomas. And Higginbotham says, all right, I had enough waiting. Higginbotham goes into the lead.
The 56 Toyota Tundra now out in front at Homestead. The 87 and the 3 still side by side for third.
6 laps remaining. Higginbotham, Thomas, Cinnamon, and Lumpkin. Your battle for the lead right now.
Can Stephen Thomas make any run at Higginbotham? We've seen the 56 be an extremely fast car, especially at the end. With 5 to go, I don't think Stephen Thomas has another chance to pass him on the outside. There goes Higginbotham. Here comes Thomas on the inside. How's the run going to go? Coming down the back straightaway.
Side by side. 5 laps to go. Higginbotham, Thomas still side by side. Thomas looking down low. Doesn't have the speed on entry. He's going to have a bad wiggle. Cinnamon's right there. Higginbotham up high. Higginbotham in the lead. Cinnamon's got a good run.
Cinnamon looking for second. Can he get that spot? The 23 battling with him for second. Cinnamon to the inside, and the 3 is going to take over second. There goes Stephen Thomas in the 23, back to third with 4 to go.
Stephen, though, with that switchback, he's going to look to have some speed off the exit and have that inside line off on Cinnamon, and they're still swapping spots more and more.
They're still swapping that spot for second place. Chris Cinnamon on the outside. Inside, the 23 is Steven Thomas. Now Cinnamon completes the pass with 3 to go.
Looks like got a little loose there. Try to set up a block on the straight. Here comes Steven Thomas jumping up.
Down the back straightaway. Lumpkin, oh my God, right on the back bumper of the 23, almost turning him.
Thomas with a very aggressive block attempt right there. Almost turning himself as, oh my goodness, there's a car going through the infield grass. And that's pushed Cinnamon into the pit lane.
Chris Cinnamon in the 3, down into pit road.
That was,
What happened there?
No, that was intentional. He went into the pit lane. Tim D. Price is all over the track right now.
I'm watching the 3 of Chris Cinnamon, watching what he does. He's in his pit stall.
Fuel and go. He's just splash and go.
No, he's taking tires. He's taking left side tires. Or right side tires. He's going to take lefts too. Yes, he is. 4 tires stop for Chris Cinnamon.
That might have been a mistake there. And here goes Lumpkin onto the inside of Thomas. What a bizarre thing as the white flag is out here in Homestead.
Lumpkin into second. The 23 is Steven Thomas falling back into third. But it's all the 56 of Jason Higginbotham out front. I coined him the closer. He wrecks, gets that fast repair, and he battles back to the lead. And through 3 and 4, he is going for home.
Just a little straight to go, and Jason Higginbotham, the 56, closes it out here in Homestead to win the Florida Citrus 200.
What a final stage to this race. Incredible racing here at Homestead.
Absolutely nutty here today. Jason Higginbotham takes the win here in Homestead, Miami Speedway. Here for the Snead Competition Design Truck Series, the Florida Citrus 200 comes to an end, and Jason Higginbotham takes the win, and I think we're going to get the house burned down by Jason Higginbotham.
Back-to-back wins for the 56 of Jason Higginbotham. What a night for the 56.
What a night, indeed. He's not finishing. He's not forgetting to burn it down. He's just aligning it with the wall and hammering down that throttle. Jason Higginbotham takes the win ahead of Justin Lumpkin, Steven Thomas, Tyler Dittmer, Raul Meza, Keith Bradley, Dustin Scruggs, Mark Truxell, Dane Hagan, Derek Mullins, Scott Osmat, Tyler Daniels, Chris Cinnamon, Chris Baines, Brandon Bullock, Jesse Sarge, Eric Zimmerman, Ruben Phelps, Tim D. Price, Michael McKinnon, Bradley the Booth, Casey Herring, Andrew Hurley, Steve Williams, Chip Turner, and Mikey Williams. Your finishing order here today for the Florida Citrus 200. But all eyes are on the 56, the race winner of Jason Higginbotham. And wow. And we do have Mr. Jason Higginbotham in our broadcast booth right now. Welcome to the winner's circle again, Jason Higginbotham.
The closer.
Thank you.
Well, Joshua gave you the nickname of the closer after a closing finish in Dover. He gave you that nickname again, and then you immediately wrecked out, but you ended up coming back to close it off again. How was that race?
I almost pulled another choke move right there again. Yeah, I got on cold tires. That thing is mighty loose coming off the corners there until it gets up to speed. But got it fixed up in the pit area, and had to come from the rear a little bit. But good run.
It's another win for you, and Homestead was a very weird track, but you seem to have a knack for it.
You're right. Homestead is a very weird track. It's so, I don't know, you come in and all 3 tires are in the 90s, and then you look at your right front, front's in the 70s. It just burns that right front up, so you're doing all you can not to burn it up. But then again, I had to come from way back there, so I had to run it pretty hard. And I think that caution on lap 90 there helped me pretty good.
Well, whatever it was, you are up, taking another win here in the Snead Competition Design Truck Series. Back again on the top step. Before we let you go, anyone you want to thank?
Yes, I just want to thank the whole crew here, for this racing, this sim racing. This is an awesome league, and everybody gets a little frustrated at times. I'm sure. I know how it goes. I've been on both ends of it, but it's an awesome little league, and I definitely appreciate Mike McKinnon for putting everything up and everything everybody does. I appreciate you guys.
And we appreciate you putting on an amazing show here on Racecraft TV. Congrats on the win, Jason, and you have yourself a good old night.
Thank you, guys. You do the same.
And Joshua, you're standing by with Justin Lumpkin.
Justin Lumpkin in the 87. Second place for you. You started out on pole. Talk about qualifying for you, because it seemed like those times severely dropped back from practice.
Oh yeah, that every now and then you get some that go in there and draft, and you'll run some high speeds, but when it comes to hot laps, I've always been pretty quick at Homestead. It's just the saving the tires that always gets me.
And you did have a great run towards the end of that race, rallied back to finish second. How was the end of that race, especially stage 4 for you, having to try and battle back, especially on 46-lap old tires at the time of the checkered flag?
It wasn't too bad. I pretty much just followed Jason there all the way from about 11th up, just kind of just taking it easy, picking my spots, and then I got to 4th, and Chris and Steven were having a heck of a battle, and there with Jason as well, and I just couldn't make the move fast enough.
Anyone else you would like to thank here on Racecraft TV?
Oh yeah, for sure. Mitchell Vinyl Side, and I want to thank them for coming on these last 2 races. They wanted to sponsor me. That's Todd Mitchell, Zero X Designs. I want to say hey to Tony Smith. He hadn't been able to race a couple races. He's a fire chief, and he's been called out to some fires. Hope he's doing well. Casey for being a good teammate, Alcorn Builder Supply, and all my family and fans. I appreciate it.
Justin Lumpkin, second place finisher here in Homestead. Austin now standing by, I believe, with your third place finisher, Stephen Thomas.
I am standing by with Stephen Thomas. I believe this is Stephen Thomas. Ladies and gentlemen, he finished third today. This is Stephen Thomas.
Hey, buddy.
Stephen, how was that race today? You were up in the lead for a long time, and then it just unfortunately crashed down at the end.
I really thought I had it in the long run, man. I really did, but I couldn't hold on to it. I don't know if anybody realizes or not, but 56, that's my dad. So when we were running 1 and 2 there, he was sitting there telling me that he was going to help me finish, get the dub here, and he was going to finish 2. And there he goes, right on by me as soon as he had the opportunity, so didn't quite work out like I thought.
Yeah, we were watching him, and we knew that he had the pace to try to pass you, but he was just staying behind him. And
yeah, we pulled off for a second and thought we were going to be able to stay there. He was going to stay behind me and hold him off, but once they started pushing him, he went on by me there.
Well, he knew how to work those tires. And speaking of tires and fuel, with that early caution, everyone decided to head into the pit lane. How close were you on fuel?
I didn't even look, man. I'll be honest with you, I never even looked. I just knew I needed it, so I went ahead and filled up.
All right. Well, Steven, you finished third here today. It was a good finish and a good showing for you. Before we let you go, anyone you want to thank?
I want to thank everybody involved, man. Michael, Brady, all the sponsors, you guys at the broadcast. I mean, everybody that's involved. This is fun. I'm new to iRacing. I jumped on here, and I really didn't think I was going to have much of a chance, but it turns out I'm going to be all right. So I think we're going to have a good time this season.
All right. Well, thank you, Steven, for putting on a great show, and congrats on that third place finish. You have yourself a good night. We're going to go over to Joshua for some closing comments.
Thanks, guys. Take it easy.
Thank you, Stephen Thomas. And just an exciting race all around. I mean, same thing with Dover last week. I think you can count the number of leaders that we have had on 2 hands. I mean, it was just insane how many lead changes we had throughout the 134 laps tonight. strategy came into play, tires came into play, the fall off of the tires came into play, and just ultimately a very exciting race. And I'm looking forward to the next time that we have these drivers back here next Friday night here on Racecraft TV for another race, because it's just insane how many lead changes we have, but it seems like it always is those top 3 or top 2 that always seem to prevail at the end of the day.
It always does, and these guys know how to put on a great show in those trucks. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here on Racecraft TV for the Snead Competition Design Truck Series Florida Citrus 200. I've been joined by Joshua Lee. I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a great night. This Racecraft TV stream is brought to you by Artesian Builds. Artesian builds high-quality custom PCs made to order for a low price. Contact Artesian Builds today to get started on your own custom PC as low as $64 a month. All Artesian builds are made live on stream. You can watch your builds and talk to the builders live at twitch.tv/Artesian Builds. For more information about Artesian Builds, check the link in the description.